said, I'm leaving Jim's office, and I wonder if you might be interested. And I said, my God, are you kidding? Absolutely, because I lived in the 8th District, and I was I was a press secretary for some very good members. This was a chance to be an AA, or chief of staff, and I took it. And there was no way in the world I could ever imagine replacing Maine, and I couldn't, and I didn't replace Maine. But I did think that I could, in some way, keep up and try to help Jim Moran. And everybody has recited so many of the accomplishments that he had in those years. The Wilson Bridge, closing Lorton Prison, all the work he did for military retirees and federal civil servants. But there are a couple of things that I think really bear mention tonight that haven't been mentioned, and that is, Jim Moran was one of 3 congressmen whose district was hit on 9/11. And in those days that followed, Jim Moran exhibited enormous leadership, courage, and compassion for the people in our district who perished in that accident. Susie Warner's over there, and Donna Clock, and our constituent caseworkers did amazing things in those days after 9/11 to help the families who were affected, both at the Pentagon and in New York in some cases. But Jim did something else that I think he never gets enough credit for, and it's really a story I'm not going to tell right now because it's late, but there was a real serious doubt that National Airport would ever reopen. And Jim Moran did some amazing things behind the scenes, all the way he took them on, and Jim Moran got National Airport reopened, and our economy really benefited. All of the things we worked on, we won. And the great thing about Jim was, even when you worked on an issue and you lost, it was fun. I've never had so much fun in politics as when the Republicans, and Tom Davis is gone now, but these guys, they wanted to rename National Airport Ronald Reagan Airport, and Jim fought those guys so hard. My son was 4 years old at the time. I come home from work and he couldn't understand why Congressman Moran didn't want to name the airport after our family. And I had to explain to him that he really was a good guy. But there were so many other things, He did great work in the 8th District, but he didn't stop in the 8th District. He was really a congressman for our country and indeed the whole world. We talked earlier, and several people have mentioned it. One of the things I was proudest of in my career in working with Jim was that when the Congress considered DOMA, and I think it was 1998 or 1999, President Clinton was president. President Clinton supported it. Almost everybody supported it. There were 32 members of the House who voted no on DOMA. And Jim Moran was one of them. Southern state. So we owe him so much, and he exhibited so much courage. But I will say, and a lot of people have alluded to it tonight, politics is serious business, and it's important what we do. And Jim Moran got up every day and tried to make the country and his community a better place, and he did it, as Phil and so many others have said. But politics also has to be fun. And I tell you, working with Jim Moran was the funnest 6 years of my life. So many stories have been told. Joe stole my story about the signs, and I remember driving down Old Keene Mill Road one day, and I saw after a fundraiser, Jim's, number 8, the car is pulled over, and he's out in the median of Old Keene Mill Road pulling up his own signs. And I just thought it was bizarre. There were many, many, many stories about Jim Moran and food. I mean, we stored more stale food in his desk than any congressman in the country. And I tell you, one day we had some dignitaries visiting from a country in the Mediterranean somewhere, I don't remember, and Jim Moran, he opened his desk drawer and pulled out stale dates and said, "You people like dates, don't you?"